Welcome back everyone. Today I have another video, and this time, holy moly, they did it. I didn't think they were gonna do this. They just released a ban list, and it is not like a limited list, it is an actual ban list. Like, these cars cannot be played anymore, and that's insane. Well, wow, it's actually a crucifixion list because they murder red. Like they said, we don't want to see red anymore, and you're gonna have to innovate on that end, right? Wow, this has so many implications. This is insane. Okay, let's go over the cars. Nami is banned, no longer playable. Newgate, the leader, is banned. Wow. Dadan is banned as well. I mean, again, all the red hits are just completely insane. And Marco, the fight drop, is limited to 1. Okay, so what does this implicate? Okay, let's read the reason why. Thank you for playing the One Piece card game on July the 28th. We added these cards to mitigate the high win rate of these decks on Zoro, on Law, and Newgate, of course. Those are the 3 most represented decks. If you see the latest tournament that we just covered not too long ago, more than 75% of the decks were red decks, because they're just too powerful. Like, these cards get too much value for no freaking reason, right? So despite the restrictions that they're recognizing here, we hit Whitebeard what they were supposed to have been like extremely like insane hits against Whitebeard. It still didn't do anything. It's still the best deck in the format. Like, it's still one of the best, at least one of the 2 best decks in the format. Like, it's despite the hits that they did to the like red cards, Law and Zoro and Whitebeard is still they're still the best, most powerful decks. And that's just something that I mean, no other card game allows that to happen with like their own meta game. I think they want to have a more healthy game, which is good and is bad. We'll go over that in a second. Let's see what else they say. Play a prominent role in the meta game in order to provide more enjoyable experience in the One Piece card game. Promote more deck diversity, which we don't get to see that much right now. But this will change a lot after this ban list. I can assure you that. We will roll the following cards to the ban list after November the 10th. So this will be, I don't know what regional is coming up, but I think, I don't know. I have to check that out. I don't know out of the top of my head which is the next one that will be available. But yeah, November the 10th is the cutoff. And these cards are going to be no longer legal for that event. And then Marco is limited to 1, as we already know. So let's go over each card and see how this affects each deck that is in the format. So 1, Law. Wow. This, again, like, this is the card that is the most powerful for Law. This and Dadan, of course. Dadan and Nami, it hurts Law so much that I'm a little bit happy because Law is a little bit too overtuned at the moment. And now, it's not to say that the deck can't just completely dies. The deck can adapt. This deck is very versatile, and there's a lot of other engines that you can play that people were not playing just because this was too insane. But the deck can adapt to the ban list. This is the one that is gonna. It's not gonna be as powerful, of course, but it's the one that is gonna adapt the best out of the ban list. I think Law is gonna have a good chance of, like, sure, you hit or Nami, but we can add maybe Isho. There's a lot of 1-drop searchers that you can still add, and they're gonna release more. But this definitely just really, I think it puts it down to, we're gonna have to wait and see. But at least it's gonna peg it down 1 tier level at the very least. It's gonna be a tier 1.5, maybe even 2, depending on how people adapt to this change, which was the most hurtful of them all for Law. Not to say another super lucid against this is Zoro. I don't know, however, Zoro recovers from this. I guess you can do the Isho route, the Iso route, where you could make it more Whitebeard Pirates, but the biggest hit for Zoro was Dadan. Like, this card was the whole deck, and without this card, I don't really know if the deck works. I mean, the deck still works. You can still play it like a small creature advantage deck, but it's no longer as powerful as it was. I don't think you can. I mean, you can still play it. I think it's still decent enough. You can play like a mid-rangey, or like you play Luffy. Like, these type of decks don't really go away. You can still make them aggressive enough. It's just you're not gonna have that like one drop, or 2 into 1, and just get searching. Like, every threat that you play is gonna replace itself. That was the biggest issue with Zoro. Like, oh, you play at the Dan, that searches another 1 drop, that searches another card, and then all of those cards you attack with those, and they get to attack and block basically, because all of them search. So that was a little bit obnoxious and a little bit too overtuned for the color. Like, on set 1, Zoro wasn't that powerful because of the same reason. Like, it was a powerful deck, but it wasn't like as dominant as it is like right now as the red color, because it didn't have a card like the Dan. The Dan was the biggest promoter for Zoro, definitely. It hurts a lot, but to a degree, it's not as... It is, I mean, still a good hit versus Law, of course, because it hits the consistency. But I don't think the Dan was the card that was making the deck like as abusable for Law. It helped. It had some synergies with the deck, of course. It allowed you to play 3 searches in the deck, but you could do that on set 1, 2. You can adapt. You can play 3 searches still, if you do so want to. You just have to find a way to do it. Like, I think, as I'm saying, I think Law is the one that is gonna get the better out of the ban list, but it's still a huge hit to these 2 decks. So Nami, and another reason why Nami got hit, and you can see this coming, is because her typing, Straw Hat, is gonna be the most represented keyword in the game, I think. Because, well, of course, we all seen the show, or whoever has seen the show. This is the main crew, and there's 9 characters that she gets to search for free. Well, I guess, yeah, 9, because it doesn't count herself, but 9 that she gets to search for free. And in any color that you play that is red, that you can search another Straw Hat, because they're going to make Straw Hats in every color. So she's going to be a problem. She's definitely going to be a problem. Now, one thing that I didn't expect is that there's a lot of versions of this car and different altars for her. Is she going to be like a collection item now that they ban it? Maybe they bring it back later on, but it's still going to accentuate the problem, which is like she gets to search all the Straw Hats in all the colors in any red base combination. Like if you do red, yellow, red, purple, red, whatever, if there's a Straw Hat that you can search it with Nami. And that's a problem in itself. This card can search too many cards. So I can see this being like a preemptive hit to the keyword, the Straw Hat keyword. But still, wow, it's huge. It's huge, absolutely huge. Now we have Newgate. It needed to get hit. Although there is the problem that, I don't know, this deck is gonna get, they've been printing a lot of like hate towards this deck. They just printed an I forgot the chick with the 3 eyes. I forgot her name, but she just like bottom decks the whole hand. There's a lot of like answers to the deck that they're coming out, and the deck is gonna get less popular as a result of that. But I think at the moment the deck is way too powerful. Maybe it will come back later, but at the moment the deck is too powerful. And it just being a 6k leader is oppressive enough as of right now, where they get to be aggressive because they take their own life. It's not even a detriment to the strategy, and then they get to attack with everything every turn, and it's difficult. It's difficult to play against this leader. I understand why, and yeah, it is what it is. Marco is another card that, again, this is the Zoro special right here. This card just sat there and never died. And also was able to attack for 7k every turn if you had the cards to protect it. So this card was a little bit too overtuned for the Zoro deck more than anything. But I think I think they could have given something. If you're gonna ban Nami and the Dan, you could have left them at least with like the 4 Marcos. I know it's at 1 now, but this is a huge hit. And not to mention the other Marco is still limited at 1. The 4 cost Marco. So that means that the issue and the Whitebeard is still limited at 1, the 9 drop. So the issue searches for the Marcos only searches like the 1/1/1. It's insane of how much they messed up with this color, and it gets to show here because the red color is the only color that has gotten the bans right now, or limited, or anything at all. It's only on red because they messed up with the color, to be fair. They did a little bit too much. But now, let's talk about some of the negatives of this ban list. Law and Zoro and all of these decks, they have some. They were keeping some predators out of the gates. Like all these control decks that are out that you can like you can play just forever, just take your own time forever. They were a problem. I mean, they're a problem if you're not able to be aggressive. Like something like Karakuri is the biggest winner out of this ban list, because these three colors like Law, Zoro, and Whitebeard, they all had an amazing matchup versus Karakuri, and maybe they should have done a little bit something on that end. Maybe they should have touched the 10-drop Big Mom. Maybe not completely banned, but if they're willing to do some ban lists at least, they should have maybe thought about maybe semi-limiting that to like at least 2 of them, or have some sort of restrictions on the other colors, because now that you just blatantly just kill red, the other colors will take over, and it'll be like we'll have to see. This is exciting because we get to have a completely new format, but and I don't know if this is gonna happen just here or it's gonna happen over there too. But we do get to have a completely new format, and that's good to know, because we're not like shackled to the East format, which is good. I love that. That just allows us to explore this format on our own. And yeah, even though it's a ban list and it sucks, I know people are gonna be upset about like, oh, this is my deck, I've been practicing my deck and all of that. I understand that. I feel you, but I always love a good ban list. It shakes things up. When things are stale, you do want a little bit of change, and I think a lot of people have been championing for this. Not myself. I don't think like they needed to do a crucifixion like they did right now. But at least some minor touches. Maybe they could have limited some cards. They could have made some adjustment to the red color, because it is a very overtuned color at the moment. Well, not anymore, I guess. But yeah, it could have worked. It could have used some adjustments. Maybe since the beginning of the ban list, so we didn't have to play some of the tournaments with that. But this is huge news. Let me know what you think. This is insane. I'm actually excited to just keep trying right now and see what happens. So yeah, I'll try to make a video on the new things as soon as I can, because this is insane.